Welcome back, everyone, to episode 24. I would like to start off by introducing our players today. We have Ben playing Ticto Dockkeeper.
Hello.
And Brian playing Edward, the Everflame Niven, and I, Joel, am the DM. A brief recap. Our characters had to have joined with the Stonebreaker clan and leveled a town in the name of, leveled places of worship in the name of Pelor, and now in search of a way to navigate the astral sea in hopes to find the scroll and repair the broken chains in the heavens. Remembering a possessor of a flying ship, Captain Bertram Wildbagger, back in Sharn, they took a journey to go visit him, finding 13 years in Bath, and he is a wildly successful artificer. With Ticto showing a masterfully crafted timepiece from a watchmaker in Sigil, they convinced the artificer to come and have a conversation with Bob. Now we welcome you to join us in our quest to become Nerds of Legend. Alright, our story begins where we are sitting. You have discussed the ramp, you have discussed the options. You have discussed what lies in Sigil, what your goals are on Faerun, and Captain Bertram Wildbagger has just negotiated making certain that he can be returned to this moment in time because he has a business to run, which is a primary concern.
Yes. And I'm sure Navariel over here made sure to ensure of that.
No idea. It's 11:47 a.m. It's 11:47 on the year 32 of Maruk, 2:07 p.m. I got it wrote down. You watched me do it.
Yes, well, I just wanted to make sure. You can be a bit flighty at times, so
that's fair.
I'm glad that Bob finally doesn't just like bite Ticto's head off whenever he's just like making sure of things. Anyway, he figured out that Ticto's not meaning to be insulting all the time.
Ticto's got a slight touch of autism, if that's okay. So I have to learn to have a gentler hand.
I believe, Bertram, that since we have figured out that...
What? Oh.
Making sure that you can return to your original timeline.
He walks out, he stops for a minute, walks out the door, and looks. He looks around, and then he goes to his shop, and he, like, puts a finger on the door, and looks to see if any dust. He goes, walks back, he's like, seems all right for the moment.
I believe we have a couple options out before us, if I may. We spoke about should check how things are going in Sigil. Perhaps that will give us a means. We also have means of attaining a Spelljammer ship, which we lost in the Celestial Realm. And...
Ow! Hold on, you had my attention at Spelljammer ship. How will we get one?
Well, is that Bob or Bertram?
Bertram's blustering.
Yeah.
It's Bob.
Well, you...
Chain smoking and playing penny slots his entire life.
Yeah. Well...
Why an elf sounds like that, I have no idea.
Well, your original one, Bob, of course. We talked about how we might try and figure out how to get it back from whence it was lost.
Okay, like we're gonna try to find like a compass, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we have to go to the Smurf Bourbon.
Smurf Bourbon? Smart time? That's what you're saying?
Smart time.
Smart time? Yeah. Smurf Bourbon. It shall forever be known as Smurf Bourbon from now on.
I thought aren't they like Snurf Neblin or something like that? The deep gnomes or whatever? That was Ben talking.
Yeah, Snifferbillion or some shit like that.
Snurf Bellion, Snurf Balloons.
on, it's Snurf Bourbon. Like, that's what... I like that better.
Bourbon sniffers.
Take that seriously. Like, if somebody's like, I shall take you as prisoner, you're like, no.
Yes, well, we could try to bargain with them to get a piece of the Uru metal so that we may go to find the Spelljammer. Or we can go to Sigil, see if there's... I can't remember why we wanted to go to Sigil.
I believe you showed me a timepiece from Zimmerick.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite a... Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, we can go there.
Quite interested, but then you talk about these Snurf Burblins. That's, what is this Snurf Burblins? Sounds fantastic.
Also another form of excellent artificers, but from the plane of Svartheim.
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Alright.
So one is a city?
Yes.
Of just doors?
Yes.
And the other is a plane of craftsmen.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest, a plane full of craftsmen makes me feel, that's unique. And if you can, and as he's saying this, he's kind of like, adjusting his outfit, like, putting his lapel, he's like, and if you can't tell, I like to stand out.
Mm-hmm. So...
they are all like 3 feet tall, so you will still stand out, just... Quite.
Excellent.
Quite. That is much more to my liking. But, this Sigil is a place that seems to, have my interest at this moment.
Well, I mean, we haven't checked in on their chain in a while. I know that it was kind of going all right last time, but seemed kind of... Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the refresher. We were gone for 13 years because of this reason, and I'm going to expound, basically give him like a... just like a... and right on the whiteboard and just basically be like, so we're here, and there's all these other planes, and blah, 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 blah. Got it?
So let me get this straight.
I wasn't
there's
actually...
this thing that is in the center of these worlds chained to prevent from... And something happened that sounds like the balance was shifted, and now the chains that are held, some are weaker than others, and it's going to escape. So long story short, chains break, all die.
Yeah.
Right. And one already broke.
Mm-hmm.
And one two are in control of this Asmodeus. Asmodee.
Close enough. We haven't.
Correct. Right. And then the one that's one in Eberron. And the one, okay. Right. John then. Sigil.
Yep.
John.
Sigil time. Hey, Bob. Where's the Sigil door?
Sean is the largest city I know. It's hard to wrap my mind around an entire plane that is a city.
Well, prepare to be surprised.
It's fucked up, man. You don't know anything.
Bob, where's the Sigil door?
He goes and he waves his hand. And one of his unseen servants just brings the knob over.
Oh, I thought he had the Hall of Doors now, but okay.
He has the Hall of Doors, but it's just a Hall of Knobs. It's like just shelves with knobs displayed on these little some are labeled, some are not. But yeah, you know the Sigil door. You've had one. You've used the knob.
Yeah. I'm going to look where approximately I think the unseen servant's eyes would be and be like, thank you, and take the knob.
Yeah. perception check to see if you get it.
Why are you looking at my junk? 7.
Feminine voice. My eyes are up here!
Oh, I'm sorry, madam.
He just kind of thumps it into your hand. You go over to the door that you guys use for transportation. You know, like just got no knob. It's just kind of just standing in the middle of the hall of doors now. It's a new addition, and you guys are pretty pleased with it. And you just stick the knob in. You know, you've done this a few times, and you know it's got to be.
Can be just like is it just like it's like a door, like not in a wall. It's literally just like a door in the middle of the room, like nothing on the backside. It's like a Stargate.
Kind of. Like that's exactly what it is. It's just a standing door frame now that's just got this door that he puts it in. I mean, you're in a teleporting door now, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It's like, Bertram, prepare to be amazed. And I'm gonna like do the doorknob and
Okay.
I was like, why are you putting that in the door? Oh my god.
It's like, yeah, okay, so, amaze me.
I like opened the door with the sigil doorknob. I can't remember if there's a special thing that had to happen.
No, it just has to make contact. You have to like push it in and it has to make contact.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you learned from like, you can't just like set it on like a drawing and be like, meh.
Yeah.
You have to like legitimately dig it in for the magic to work. You open the door and it opens up and he's like, not very, it doesn't give too much of a shit. And then as you like open it up, and like it's this whole world opens up. Like it's a street. You know, like, and it's got that weird artificial light that's part of Sigil. And in there's like a Dabu floating by this weird, like, 9-foot tall goat-headed thing floating about 7 inches off the ground. And he's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, boy. It's more surprising than I thought it would be. All of me amazed.
You thought I was bullshitting you, didn't you?
Yeah, I 100% did.
Right.
I thought, he's got a weird magic shop. That's normal, but, so, there's a lot of these places, huh? And he's like standing at the doorway, like, doing that thing you see in the Stargate where they, like, reach their hand in and they're like, He, like, leans in and, like puts his finger on the dirt and, like, yeah.
He's, like, looking around the side.
Yeah, he's like trying to like sneak in and out, and like people are looking at him. They're obviously they don't care because this is totally normal to them. Yeah. So to see somebody in, and then like one person like steps up, excuse you, and she's like walking and almost bumps into him.
All right.
And she walks out. She's like, "Hey there, rude to hang out," and just pops at you. And he's like, right. And he pulls all the way back into Bob's. He's like, I guess we're gonna go?
Yep. And we're off. I was gonna see... Oh yeah, I have a bag of holding now, don't I? Yeah. I think I convinced Bob to give us a bag of holding at some point. I'm going to put the doorknob way down inside the door, for getting back to Bob's, way down inside the bag of holding. Put it in, like, tuck it inside my robe, like, inside my belt, like, road tripping in Europe style, like, passport holder, like, it's in, like, 4 layers of protection around my midsection. So that it doesn't get pickpocketed again.
Nice.
Bob, are you finished working on my items?
Yeah, I think so. They're around here somewhere. What were they again?
I had the belt that changes me into a bone devil, as well as the animated chain that you were having to look like the bone devil's scorpion tail.
He was rummaging through like a pile of random shit. And he's like, yeah, that was, that's right over here. I would like an insight check from you.
Okay. Uh, 26.
A little part of you suspects, and by a little part, I mean every fiber of your being, suspects that Bob could have done this way faster than what he said, and was just kind of like stalling because he didn't want to get to it. So you're slightly a little annoyed with him.
I don't let it show on my face. Instead,
No.
I just kind of like, take the items and thank him graciously.
Yeah, that's because he forgot where he put them, and so you're like, little part of you is like, it did not take you 2.5 days to get to it. Or so, yeah, you have a bone devil belt with an attached chain devil, and with the poison tip. So, which now, when you attack with it, you do 2d6 poison damage, and then it's going to have the same attributes as a whip to you.
Okay.
Okay. So it's basically treat the spike as a bone devil as a whip with poison damage. Okay.
Got it. Whip with poison damage 2d6.
Poison damage 2d6. All right, so you guys all get in there and you're good to go.
Yep. So we're going to Sigil, and I guess we'll show him to the watchmaker's place. Do I notice anything different from the last time we were here?
Well, right now you're just there. It just seems like people are moving in a hurried pace, and you saw Adabu moving through the doorway. You haven't seen a lot of Sigil, but who's the first one to step through the door?
I guess I will.
Okay, I would like a d6 from you.
Oh boy. 3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there is, as you step through, the first thing you notice is that there is a loud commotion from the chain plaza. People are screaming and they're running away from it. The Dabu are struggling to stay afloat and are not. They're like kind of just hanging there. Like they're floating, but they're like bobbing up and down. They're moving, but they're doing it in a lurching fashion. No repairs are being done, and the glow of the city is kind of overall dimmed. It seems like there is a panic in this city.
I pull up the magic carpet and I said, "Boys, I think we have something to check out on."
Okay. All right. You guys hop on the magic carpet, and so I would like you to perception check. You both can.
It's 18.
17.
All right. You see that the area of the chain, which you remember, like, is right in the central place, and thankfully you came out of a door that is closer to the central marketplace. The chain plaza. And the chain looks like somebody had grabbed it and stretched it. Like it's not broken, but it looks deformed. It is not. But then in it, you see this mass. This mass of this that everybody seems to be running from, and there's various blasts coming from it.
Is it like the darkness stuff like we saw?
No, it is definitely a creature, but you don't know what that thing is. You have no idea.
What's the Lady of Pain doing?
You do not see her.
It's bad news bears. So we see like this mass around where the base of the chain. That's like blasting people.
It's like this thing, this like weird shaped thing, like just blasting. I'm like, you hear screams, but it's like mixes in with the screams of everyone else.
I see. I guess I'll direct the carpet to kind of go in for a closer look. Not too close, but closer.
Okay. So you're able to get there. You're flying above everything. I would like more perception checks from Edward, not Ticto. Ticto, you are focused on a certain area, so I would like perception checks from Edward.
Okay.
And then Bertram is also going to check.
14.
Okay. You can't put your finger on it, but everything looks a little weird in this place. Everything looks a little strange, but you can't put your finger on why. Just the chaos is like really throwing you off. Okay, as you get closer, you notice that this is everybody's running out. Now you're above the crowd, so you can't really. All their words are like just kind of thrown in together as this panicked cacophony of sounds. And as you get closer to the chain, you see that it is like it's stretched, it's deformed, and around it, with these weird flickerings of like undulating, like it looks like the entire world around it is like deformed and stretched. And you do see a gigantic figure laying against the building, leaning there, a giant figure of a woman with like blades coming out of her head, looking absolutely dazed. And she's looking like she's struggling, like something has her off, like she's suffering from essentially a massive, massive headache. And you see a giant ball about 13 feet in diameter with that massive tentacles on it, little eyes on the end of each one. Yelling things in very, very odd language. But it has undertones of confusion and rage at the same time, and strong tones of disgust.
Does that seem to be the source of the Lady of Pain's issues, or is it something? Or is that just like okay?
It seems to be connected, but you do not judging. Let me get an insight check from you.
That didn't land in the box. Damn it. Insight is not good, and it is a 6.
You have absolutely no idea. You're pretty certain that it is, it's a thing. You're not 100% what, but it's, you've never seen it. You know? So, yeah, you have no idea what this thing is. And you have no idea why it's there.
So I don't know what the thing is. Is it like yelling at the Lady of Pain, or is it just like in general?
It's yelling at everything around. Like,
okay.
It's shooting various colored rays out of its like eye stalks. Every so often you'll see one hit the chain and take a little pock out of it.
Okay. So he's taking like shots at the chain?
It doesn't look like he's taking shots out of the chain like on purpose. It looks like he's just like firing at everything. It does not. It doesn't, like it's not the last time you saw something attack the chain. It was a concentrated attack.
Okay.
Like it was clearly its target. This seems like everything is its target.
Okay. Okay. I see. I can't remember. I was like, I'm just gonna. Edward, any thoughts of what? I see an eye thing, and the Lady of Pain looks like she's fucked up. And the eye thing's kind of like shooting at everything. Edward?
Can you get me within 60 feet of it?
Sure. When I swoop over.
I am going to want you to since you're flying, I want you to give me a dexterity save.
Ooh. It's a 19 on the die, which makes that a 23.
Nice. So what you do is you move, and the thing sees you, and of course, like a couple of its things are like pew pew pew, and it's shooting at you, but you're able to avoid, like twist the turn a little bit, and get in and out, and it does not hit you, and you get within 60 feet.
I cast Polymorph.
All right. What is the Constitution save?
Wisdom saving throw.
All right. That is a 14.
That is not enough.
All right. All right, go ahead.
Oh, I know what the smell of that magic is. What are you going to turn him into, Edward?
Something without eyes.
Oh. Ooh, a mole! Make him a mole! The one with the star nose, because he's got the tentacles.
I'm actually going to turn it into...
Wait. Wrong throw. That's a 19.
Okay, then it makes it. Never mind.
I didn't look at it. I didn't check its saving throws. It just explains bonus.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, I have to show you just where I was wrong. See, look.
No, it's
Right
cool.
there. Right there. It says +7. I was going right there. It's +7.
Yeah.
But I don't care. For the sake of the game, the polymorph works.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's more interesting to see what you do.
Sweet. It's like, don't give me the pump fake now. I was excited.
Yeah, me too. Because I know how to play this. Like, this is going to be really fun.
I turn it into a worm.
Turn it into, so it's shooting everything and it stopped. And all of a sudden it just like shrinks down to this worm with one giant eyeball. Just this massive eyeball but it's a worm with one huge eye. It's this massive ball. Like that main eyeball that was in the middle of its head, like is completely untouched. But everything else is like a worm. So it's like, and it's the weirdest looking thing, because it's like, you know in the cartoons, where like they pull an eyeball out, it's got the little squiggly part at the end?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It doesn't move, it's kind of like lolling off to a side, with this little wiggly earthworm bit on the end of it.
It like can't do anything because its eye's too big.
Yeah, it can't do anything, because the eye is like, it was the eye that was the central eye of this massive 13-foot in diameter ball, that like suddenly now it's got a 4 to 6 inch earthworm body just hanging off the end of it. So
I think we all know what it is, Joel. I think you can say the name now.
it's a Tarrasque. Did some cosmetic changes. Yeah, but so your characters don't know what it is. You have to figure that out.
I know.
Yeah, no, you have because it's the anti-magic eye. Like you don't, but you guys don't know that yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a beholder. It is enraged and absolutely confused as to how the fuck it got there.
Did things seem to calm down at all now that the beholder is no longer
Want a
beholden?
check from you. I want a dexterity. You know what? Fuck it. This is a luck roll for you. This is a straight roll luck. I love it. Do it.
I got a nat 1.
When he polymorphs this thing and it rolls back, like its eye rolls right up and looks right at you, and the carpet that was flying just drops straight down. So you guys are fine. So he's like, I hate this town and I hate you.
Featherfall as a reaction on the three of us.
An anti-magic cone.
Oh,
so
fuck, I'm still in the cone, aren't I?
you rolled a nat 1. This thing is trickling you, so it's like, give me another luck roll.
That's 13.
Or you can do this too.
Oh, okay. That's a 16 on the die.
All of you, like, Bertram jumps off. He has no idea, and he starts, like, frantically casting fly on himself. But he doesn't get out of the cone. He rolled a 2. The rest of you guys, Ticto, you're trying to cast Featherfall. You fall 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, and then all of a sudden it just, poof, like, you're getting really panicked right now. You're like, starting to think like you need to get yourself right with whatever deity you hope, and it just, boom. And then like, all of a sudden, like 10 feet from the ground, you and Edward just like under this halt and like flutter down.
Am I not able to get, and I'm not able to get Bertram with it?
You do.
Okay.
Bertram at the end, but
he's 1 foot from the ground.
Yeah. But he almost hit the ground.
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
I about pooped my pants there. So I walk up to the beach ball that is the worm.
So the eyeball's about 3 feet in diameter, and walking in front of the eye, like, let me get an intelligence check from you, just to see how quick you pick stuff.
Yeah. Intelligence is it's a 15.
You're pretty certain that you want to stay out of its eyesight, so you walk around the back of it.
Yeah.
And you see this, so it's like the eye's like 3 feet in diameter. It's a big ass eyeball with a little wiggly worm on the end of it, and you have absolutely no idea what the fuck it is. But you probably...
We have exactly 1 hour before that thing becomes whatever it was again. So It's probably best if we find a door to somewhere else that isn't here and just throw it in there and leave it to its own devices.
Want to do a prank on Bob?
Himself, and he's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, starting out, not a fan of whatever this is.
Well, it wasn't like this last time, Bertram.
I believe this was gonna be a lot more.
Can the carpet still fly?
Oh. I go over to the carpet. I get on it and see if it's still working.
Is it, where are you? Like, did you move it out of the vision?
Yes.
Yeah, everything's fine. It's just...
Yeah, carpet still works. We just gotta stay out of line of sight.
Okay, so then its effects to dispel magic are temporary then.
Mm-hmm.
Then, if you want to play some sort of prank on Bob, provided it isn't permanent, then I suppose that is your decision.
I mean, do you think... I'm pretty sure Bob could handle that thing. Could Bob handle that thing? I look up at Watcher.
I just met Bob a few minutes ago.
I look up at Watcher. Do you think Bob could handle that thing?
Yeah, it's not so much could he, it's does he want to have to handle that thing.
Fair.
I mean, I was kind of thinking that we could maybe find some
you just want
sort
to do
of
a
door.
different door?
Well, I was
We
thinking
can do
like
a
maybe we
different
could
door.
send it to hell or something, but
That would be fun. How do we find a hell door? Anyway, so what's going on now that thing's been...
This how you guys do most of your work is just kind of like just slipshod and guessing? Because you said you got an hour, and you got 1 hour, and you're like, let's find a door to hell. Like, is that something that can be done in an hour?
In Sigil, maybe.
So is it every door opens up to a new place, or is it like...
Not every door, just a lot of them. You have to... Okay, by the way, quick tutorial on Sigil. Don't walk through a doorway unless we say so.
Right, like are they all portals everywhere, some just doors?
Some are just doors. A lot of them are portals. There's no way to tell which one is going to be what.
Let me understand this right now. Our current plan is to take this thing
And shove
and
it
put
somewhere
it
else.
through a door. So we're just gonna open random doors, open for the best.
Can I look and see what the Lady of Pain's doing?
She is like hunched over with this dazed look on her face.
Okay.
can I go over to her and cast Cure Wounds?
No. She's still, you can.
I'm gonna try because Edward doesn't know who the Lady of Pain is, and so he doesn't know not to do this. So I'm going to go over to her, and I'm going to attempt to touch her so I can cast Cure Wounds.
Would like a luck roll from you.
Okay.
A lot of luck rolls tonight.
Because you guys are doing some dumbass shit that needs to, we're just gonna let the dice gods decide if they love you.
Well, I don't know not to do this because
Yeah.
I don't know who the
I know
Lady of
that,
Pain is.
but
So how is it doing dumbass shit if we have no idea if it would be dumbass shit? I would think going and
I
trying to...
know it's dumb.
Ooh.
That, my friend, is a 6.
Well, we're leaving this one. You reach out to touch her, and somebody's like, "Hey!" and your hand touches on top of her.
Oh,
And
shit, I actually touched her. I'm so fucking mazed.
You find yourself in a tunnel that seems to go on forever.
Did Edward just disappear to Ticto?
Yes, he did. You hear... I hate you so much. I literally wrote this whole thing out, like, with play. And what did you do? Mazed yourself. Alright. So... Ticto sees Edward touch, and somebody reach out to touch the Lady of Pain. And somebody's like, "Don't touch her!" But he gets and he touches it, and Edward disappears. And he goes, and you hear the voice go, "Touch her." Well, and the guy just kind of walks off.
So, hey, buddy, what just happened? Where's my friend?
Probably mazed.
What the hell does that mean?
Hey, it could have been worse. Could have been worse. She could have just killed him.
Yeah, but what does mazed mean?
Oh, the Lady of Pain, if you don't follow the rules or touch her, to put you in a maze or kill you. He's lucky he got... And then he's like... He looks, and he's like... Doesn't see any, like, visceral components or any gore, and he's like... I'm like 45% sure that's maze.
Can you tell me what was going on? We turned this eye thing into a worm, and now we've got an hour before it stops being an eye thing.
Hold on, because he's gone. Is that a concentration spell?
It is.
Oh.
Well, you being mazed enemies do break concentration. So you are like, so now this eye thing that you're holding is a full-size beholder, and it's even more upset. It is like zeroed in on you, and you feel sick because your magic is now not working. You do not enjoy your feeling at all, and it is looking at you, snarling, and unlike before, where all 10 eyes are like pew, all over the place, they are all looking at you.
Hi.
Yes, here, Morgan.
Could you tell me why you are rampaging in the courtyard of chains?
Does the 15 hit you?
No, actually. Oh wait, you said a 15?
I'm sorry, it's a 20. I forgot it's plus 5 to hit.
Yes, a 20 hits.
Nice. All right, cool.
Why does no one want to talk to Ticto ever?
Because they don't understand a word you're saying.
Beholder?
The beholder doesn't. It only speaks deep speech and undercommon. You take 11 points of
I thought beholders were...
Huh?
Okay, whatever. Alright,
Right now I'm looking right at the sheet. Beholders speak deep speech and undercommon. They just seem like they should have more abilities because they're like a legendary bad guy.
okay.
Plus, I think he's thinking about a very particular beholder.
Yeah, there's so many. This is just a generic-ass beholder. Like, just a basic beholder.
Okay. Alright. He said he bit me. For how much?
Yes, he bit you. 11.
Oh, that's not horrible. Only
No.
a sixth of my health. Okay. And he's looking straight at me, right?
He is looking straight at you.
Oh. I have ink. Can I just, like, squirt an ink bottle into its eye?
Yes, you can.
Because I know that the eye is what's doing the thing. Alright. What do you want me to roll for that? Just a straight attack roll. What was that?
That's it. Okay.
Yeah, alright.
No, go ahead. So, what's your attack roll? What do you got?
I got a 19.
Oh shit! All right, I was gonna say we'll do your intelligence on it too, but okay. Let me get a. I feel like this is a panic move, so since this is my new favorite one for today, another luck roll.
I'm gonna swap out dice. Ah! Okay, doing another one. A luck roll of 15.
A straight roll, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's look what happened. You hit it dead center in the eye. Like, now, mind you, the big eye.
Yeah.
And it gets in there, the thing breaks open. And it's like roaring in pain. The glass like shatters in its face, and you like threw this vial of ink in its face, and the glass shatters, digging in its sensitive eye bits.
Yeah.
And it's like you see these little red lines appear in it, and then it blinks and blinks and blinks and blinks, trying to like blink it out, but all it's doing is like smearing it all over its eye.
His eyes just going black and just.
So now you've got like this black-eyed beholder, like which is absolutely horrifying to look at, but like. It's still.
Did it do anything for the other problem?
Huh?
Did it do any? Is he like blinded or anything? Does it do anything for the anti-magic?
He is going to be blinded for a couple turns as he tries to blink that shit out.
is
For
the
dry, red eyes, clear eyes.
All of a sudden, this very droll man comes in and starts with some eye drops, and you're like, "Son of a bitch, what are you doing?"
Does the anti-magic thing go away?
No.
Damn it! That was more what I was going for, but
Well, I feel like that's
yeah,
like
I know.
blinding is a little like I see where you're going.
Yeah, I was like, if I block his eyesight, does the thing go away?
Yeah, I respect your attempt, but like, I feel like you're gonna need a little bit more than just throwing ink in his eye to stop a magical ability. Bertram is gonna go. We're fighting this thing, huh?
He tried to bite me.
Okay, so it's not that bad.
No, I tried to talk to him. He wouldn't talk to me. He just bit me, and so now I blinded him, and now I'm gonna run around and try and not stay out of his eyesight.
You don't speak his language, huh?
Do you speak Undercommon? Or I guess I don't.
Ticto, don't you still have that spell that like now allows you to, understand things?
It was only specifically for Giant.
Oh.
As you are sitting there, you're like, do you speak whatever? He's like, sure I do. And he pulls out this little device. And you ever see those really stupid commercials where they like hold the mouth over their mouth? And they like
it's like the Vox.
It's like a little Vox emitter with like this mouth on it. And he's like, hold on, and he pulls it out, tinkers with it, holds it up. And you hear him in common be like, "What's the problem, friend?" And it comes out, and the thing stops and looks, and starts grumbling back at him. And he's like, he says he doesn't know how he got here, and this little shit just turned him into a worm, and then threw ink in his eye, and he wants to bite your face. Because he doesn't think that was called for.
Tell him, attacking back is usually the response that you give when someone bites you.
And he looks at him, and he looks at you kind of like with disgust. And he goes, he says it doesn't matter, you shouldn't have touched him anyway. Also, where the fuck is he?
You're in Sigil, aka the City of Doors.
He's translating all of this shit. We're just gonna do the middleman now, so now you guys are having your conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
He says, what the fuck is that?
It's another plane. It would probably be best if you don't keep shooting eye lasers everywhere. Otherwise...
He says, but everything here is disgusting and I hate it.
Okay. Would you like to go somewhere else? I can take you somewhere else, but you have to promise not to shoot eye lasers at the person I bring you to, because he can help you maybe get home.
He gives him a, let's see, it's a really, he says, go on. I hate my dice today. I wanted to be like, oh, fuck you. Fuck this. He fights you anyway, though.
Are you familiar with someone named Rumple Bobskin, or Navario Darkswamp, or anything else of that
like? He says absolutely nothing. Those mean nothing to him. Yeah. He says, but, will he be able to put him in a place of somebody of his stature, I guess, worthy of his greatness?
Is he talking about how big his eye is? Or...
No, I don't know. Let's get a perception check from you.
It's a 21.
You get the idea that this thing thinks it's the greatest fucking thing that's ever lived. So it's now like, yeah, you find me a place.
Me what. I know how you can get out of here. Go and touch that lady. It'll take you out of this place.
Perception. Let me get a persuasion check.
Do I get advantage with Bertram?
No, you don't. Because you actually, if you want, it would be disadvantage because you have to do it through a translator who doesn't understand shit about this place.
Four.
Was it a 1?
It was a 4.
No, that's not a 1.
Oh, also, the entire time we were talking, I was like backing up and like sidling around so I wasn't like right in direct eyesight since he was blinded still.
He does not get mad. He's like, he looks at the lady and he's like, I'm good. I don't think I'll be touching her at any point in time.
But she just teleports you away. You just have to... Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
The look on... He like gestures and like, the look on that guy's face over there, I don't really think it's going to be a good idea. But yeah. But this is a good point in time. You want to take a 5-minute break?
Sure.
All right.
Shall we return to Edward when we get back?
Yes, we will. We will pick up with Edward when we get back. All right, we'll be right back.
We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Edward. You find yourself in an endless series of corridors, and you look, and these corridors are unusual. It's a long, open hallway with twists and turns, but as luck would have it, you are able to see the sky. So, what is your first point of action?
I don't think that this is going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. I start to break out my materials that I use for spellcasting. And I begin to form the ritual circle, inscribing runes upon the floor of this labyrinth. And in time, I find myself in the circle for the ritual spell divination.
Okay. And what is it you are trying to do? This is now just so you know, this place is like oozing magic. Like, it's like probably the most magic-synced place ever. You suspect this is a place made entirely up. So not only does your spell go off, it goes off like, what is it you're intending to do with it?
The question that I was going to ask with divination is, like, how do I get out of here? Like, what is the way through the maze?
I would like you to roll a D20 and then a D6 for me.
Okay. That's a 19 on the D20.
Marvelous.
and a 2 on the D6.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. The spell, as I said, it's seeped in magic, so it goes off and is like, you don't just get the idea, like, it's like a figure forms out of the magic and is like, beckons for you to follow it. But the sight is so strong, like, it's like, when it hits, you get like this headache and you take 2 points of psychic damage as you're like, ah! Motherfucker!
Okay.
So you follow this thing for I don't know, like half an hour. And you pass by as you're passing. You see a couple fallen bodies. Various adventurers. Some that look like travelers. A couple people that just they've got their pouch. Some fully dressed, covered in pouches. Others looking like they went mad and stripped themselves completely nude. And the character stops at an ornately like dressed skeleton with like a number of books and pens and he looks like a traveler. And it stops for a minute. And how long does divination last?
I mean, it's just kind of instantaneous.
It fades out at this point.
Okay. I will consider that maybe I was led here by that, and therefore that's the reason for the bodies. And so I'm just going to like inspect the bodies. I'm going to like basically like
4. There's going to be 4 within your immediate sight. Okay.
Okay.
2 are stark naked. They're like complete skeletons at this point in time.
Okay.
1 is like has got a pouch and got a couple pieces of like cloth that don't look like they've suffered any wear whatsoever. And a pouch that doesn't seem to have suffered any wear whatsoever. Everything else is like completely gone.
Okay.
And then the man is good. Everything about him is his entire outfit is very much intact. And in his hand he's got an intact quill and what looks like a book.
Okay. I'm going to take as much as I can from these 2 skeletons.
Okay, so for the first one, you're going to go through and you just take the sash and the pouch, right?
Yeah.
You investigate them?
Yes, I'm gonna inspect them. Yeah.
Okay. Let me get you want an Arcana check, or do you have identified?
Let's see here. Actually, hold on for a moment. I do not have identify.
Well, then we will allow a. We will allow. Well, let's do an Arcana check. We'll see if you can roll a high Arcana check to see.
Okay. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself before I do so.
Copy that.
So.
And this check will go for you checking all of the things.
Okay. Okay, so far not so bad. Okay, so Total comes out to 21.
Nice. Okay. You grab the sash off the person, this belt, and it's a rather elaborate little piece. And you've seen something like this before. You seem to remember reading stories about these, from a like unarmed practitioners, and that they wear them, and it makes them a little bit harder to hit. So, you put it on. It's a belt of defense +1 to you. So you may put, and then the bag. You identified this immediately. You're pretty certain Ticto's got one. It's a bag of holding. And then the next person you find, his outfit, the clothes that he's wearing, are essentially. You've also seen this. You've seen entertainers wear this back, and they're essentially, they let you change. They have no real effect other than just like a cosmetic. But like as you put them on, they will take on whatever you want. So like they could be. They have nothing really other than being like, they could be a summer outfit or a winter coat. They adapt to what you're wearing, and they're called traveler's garments. And they're very, very popular with, travelers, particularly explorers that like don't have enough sense to not go into more dangerous environments.
Okay.
So then you get to the book, and the book and the pen. It doesn't take long for you to realize this is a match set. Like these two work together, and in it is a journal, and you read the last journal entry, which thankfully is written in common, and it says, you thumb through it, and it seems this person has willingly entered the maze in hopes to uncover its secrets. And it says, day 312 in the maze, all of my spells are gone, all of my food is gone, and I have yet to find the center of the maze or any hopes of escape. And it goes on talking about how he no longer has the will to go on. He believes it's close. But there's something he's missing. And then it just kind of rambles on about, loved ones and what he would have done if he wouldn't have gone to the maze and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But now you have a goal. You need to find the center of the maze, is that he was hoping to find, that's where he thought he would be able to leave.
Did he, by any chance, try to map the maze? Like, is there like an entry in the book?
Let me get an investigation check. It's a rather large book, so you haven't thumbed through all of it, so.
Okay. I will cast guidance again on myself.
All right.
Because intelligence, not my strong suit. That's less good. Total 12.
Okay. You thumb through it, and it's got some drawings, and you see a couple like sketches that could be, but the problem is you don't know where you're at this moment, and that's your that's your biggest concern. Is he's got several sketches, and various large parts of this maze, but you don't know how big the maze is or where you're located. So you kind of like have some guide, but not.
You said I can see the sky, right?
Yes, sir.
Strange question. I'm a druid of the stars. Can I identify the constellations that are up there.
Let me get. Well, what check would you do for that? Or is it just something you would know?
Well, what I'm going to specifically do is I've got that star map that I have as my druidic focus. I'm going to shine a light through the stone that I have that once it has a light in it, it projects like a star map. And I'm going to like, look at the sky and kind of like look at my star map and see if they match up.
No.
Okay. It's a long shot, but I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
That would have been awesome.
If it was 10, it was just a pass or fail. If it was 10, yes. If it was under 10, no. You got a 4.
Okay. So I look at it, I'm like,
Yeah.
Let's
But
see here.
You do get an inspiration with it.
Okay.
And you do get an inspiration, and you can try to use to draw like pick a location. See if you can identify something.
With his knowledge of like stars and constellations, would he be able to like pick out like a North Star or something like that?
That's what he's going to try to do right now.
Well, I figure like if the constellations are changed, then maybe I wouldn't know how to do that with these stars.
Well, that's why I'm saying with you could try to see if you could pick a guiding star, like one that stands out that you're able to see, because the sky is your thing. So,
well, the other thought that I had is if I can see the stars, then that must mean that there is a top to the walls of the maze.
There is.
How far up is the top of the wall?
It looks to you about 10, 15 feet. They're inconsistent. It looks to you now that you're looking. It looks to you like it was pulled off. It looks to you like it was meant to be enclosed, but now something about it, it's jagged on the edges. Where the walls are like hard angles everywhere else, it's like all 90-degree angles, except for the top. The top, it looks like parts of it have faded out or disappeared. You could see pieces of the roof. It looks to me like the maze is incomplete.
I'd like to cast Misty Step and go, like, just teleport to the top of the wall.
Okay. When you get to the top of the wall, you're standing up there, and it is weird because there are some covered spots and there are uncovered spots, and it does look like an incomplete spell. Very powerful spell, but an incomplete one. It looks like something is hampering this one. And the edges of the maze, you see a void of like black tendrils coming around it, like it's falling apart at the edges. And about maybe mile and a half away, you see a spire of like just bright white light that is apparently in the exact center of what you were trying to get to. Of the exact center of what you're looking at.
Okay. Can I
would
walk
like a
along?
dexterity save from you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Hey, all right, that's a 22.
Okay. As you're standing there, you feel a shift, and all of a sudden, the roof of the maze like reappears underneath your feet. You're like able to jump up and step out. You're like, and that confirms your suspicion that this spell is like not holding itself together like it should. Like something is losing its cohesion, and you suspect it might have something to do with the injured Lady of Pain. That she's not able to maintain this spell, so it's like opening and closing, and and you look as you now get your footing back, and you see these places that's shifting as you're going. So the maze is like open, closed. Some parts fall apart, some disappear, and it's shifting pretty significantly now.
while I have solid ground underneath my feet, I am going to book it as fast as I can, as far as I can, towards the center of that maze.
All right, I would like a percentile die rolled, and then a dexterity saving throw.
Come back to me, die. $68.
Okay.
Damn. One of them.
And you said dexterity saving throw? Oh, wow, 20. Oh, I'm sorry, 21.
You see this, and you are balls to the wall running. You run, and you get, now remember, it's about 1.5 miles away. You get almost 2/3 of the way there before the floor just drops out from underneath you. And you are able to jump and catch onto the ledge. And as you grab onto the ledge, you look down, and the piece where it fell away has fallen into nothingness. And you're able to pull yourself up. You are now suffering from exhaustion because that was a dead sprint. Okay, but you're only got a third of the way left to get right to that bright opening.
Okay, what I want to do is I'm going to do something kind of stupid.
On this campaign? Never. Never.
I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see if, I can time it so that when the next... Sorry?
I want a perception check.
Okay. Perception is my specialty.
Nice.
Okay, that's 19.
Okay. You are watching. It does not seem to be a specific pattern. So you watch, and you initially go like, there's no pattern. It's just flash, appear, reappear, disappear, reappear. And you look and see this. It's flickering in a rotational pattern. Like it'll go out, come back, go out, come back, go out, come back. Kind of like turning on a clock. And it took a long time for you to get this pattern down. You stand there for 20, 30 minutes watching these things fade in and out. But you think you've got it now. You're pretty certain that you can time it. So you give yourself a count to 3, and what do?
As soon as I have it down to the timing where the floor will kind of appear under my feet again, I'm going to jump up so that I can get the floor underneath my feet, and I'm going to make another dead sprint towards the center.
Okay. Percentile die again, and this time the dexterity check is at disadvantage because you are exhausted.
Okay. 42.
Okay.
And we will say the black die is my disadvantage. Not that it matters. It's just going to be whichever one is lower.
Right.
Okay, so that's 4 plus 2. Or I'm sorry, 4 plus 3, so 7.
You get there, and you jump. You make it the full way, and the floor goes out underneath you as you're getting to the center, and you die. The dice gods love you today. But when you come as it disappears, and you smack yourself, and you slide, hitting the floor, your arm breaks, and you slid to a stop as you failed to brace yourself. You have a broken arm. You are still exhausted, but you're facing this room that in it is not what you expected. You thought it would be this big ball of light that you just step into, and instead, you see this old man in a gray cloak with a giant book in front of him. And it's the largest book you've ever seen. He's got purple stained fingers and like an ink pot and a quill, and he looks up and he's like, "About time you showed up." He writes down on your book. He's like, "Oh, that looks like it hurts," and then he's right. Garrett's magically heals itself, and he puts a period down, and your arm is completely healed. He's like, "So, you got caught in the maze, huh? Tried to heal the Lady of Pain. That's quite an accomplishment. Shouldn't have touched her, but you found your way to me in time anyway, and I'm very happy that's doing that."
Who are you?
Quite right. Right, Garrett. I apologize. You, of course, are Garrett Niven, and I am Gillian, God of the Tome. A watcher of sorts. Yes, quite a lot going on here, isn't it?
I should say so. Do you know what's going on with the Lady of Pain?
Oh, she's out of sorts at this moment. There's quite a ruckus in the multiverse, and, she's feeling it. She is, of course, the embodiment of balance, as you should have surmised. And being out of balance, she is out of balance. You can't quite have Sigil without the Lady of Pain, right? I mean, and the Dabus, of course. They're also, I guess, important.
You seem to be very wise. Tell me what I can do to fix things.
Well, what you have to do is you need to rebalance the scale, and preferably fix the chain, is what I would say. The story, he starts looking back at his book, he goes, went awry about here, and he's like, you, of course know the story of the three-faced gods and Asmodeus' coup on the Prime Material Blade. You're aware of that.
I'm familiar with it, yes.
Right, and now you have Pelor from Greyhawk is trying to take move in on new territory. It's a band-aid fixed. You know what band-aids are, right? I mean, they'll be very popular in several thousand years for wounds, but it's not important. Nor may it come here, I don't know. Anyway, yes, you want... how to say this where it will make sense to you. You want to try to start stopping things at the source. That, I guess, makes sense the best.
I need to go and stop Asmodeus?
Ridiculous. You have no chance of that. So, you forget talking to people that see things just one at a time. It's very difficult, but, okay. You want to go back to where it started. So, either where Piotr first got the book, or Waterdeep became trapped. That's where I think my chapters diverge. He's thumbing through his book, and then he looks at a smaller book, and he's like, right. He looks through it, he's like, because it's like an insert now. Like, he looks at it like this is an insert book, and he's like, this is... And he's scanning through his book. He's very scatterbrained. He's like somebody that's taking in 1,000 conversations at once and trying to but he's really trying to focus on you.
So be Ticto's best friend.
Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, start at the beginning of the Piotr's adventure Washington. He's like, the book has to be destroyed. That's what. That's
Can
what
you help me get to that point?
No. There's that falls into a place that gods cannot directly interfere. Because it's God stuff. But I could give you directions on where to go and help you on your way. If that is. And he's like, and he starts writing, and I mean, he writes like he's been doing it for thousands of years. I mean, the pages just fill up, and he tears it up and folds it up, and he's like, it's a clear direction of a time and a place that he thinks it's supposed to be. And he gives it to you and as he gives it to you, it binds itself and becomes a very elaborate book. But he explains to you that 4622 is the time frame, is the number of years that he believes you need to go back. He goes, and you're going to, he writes down kill, he writes down the huntsman, and he writes down, and his companions. He's like, take care of these, and you should be okay. He goes, and then he wrote, question. And then he also gave you a, he writes down the name, Gaia. G-A-I-A. And he said that is, and he wrote counterpart to Nyx, question mark, question mark. He's like, I feel that should help you, at least get an idea. And he's like, and, it's like, she'll be alright, I feel. If you get this should fix this area. And then he gives you a quill, which he dips in ink, and he hands it to you. And he's like, it's got, 3, maybe 4 good uses. If you need a question answered, write in your book this, and, I'll see what I can do. But if you don't mind, I must really get back to work.
I have only one final question.
Can I go home?
No, I was wondering if perhaps you can use that magic of yours to temporarily heal the Lady of Pain.
I didn't think of that. Let's give it a go. Then he's like, here, the Lady of Pain has a moment of clarity that will last for a while. That sounds good. And he's like, well, let's see. Like, and also, he thumbs through it and he looks, he's like, yes, and, your son and your wife and child are doing just fine. To take that, now off with you.
And walk into the light.
And he's like, where? He's like, where are you going? He's like, what are you doing?
I thought you said I should be going.
Right, the door. There's a door right over there.
Oh.
That's just my light.
Okay.
And the lady of pain squashes the beholder like a bug. It
also makes sense, doesn't it? Like, when you really think about it, that does seem like the more logical. He's like, he shuffles back in his book and he's like, well, good luck. And you see him scribbling it out. He's like, sit through the light. Yes, that's much better.
Don't go toward the light.
Come back out and you appear in front of Ticto, who is, like, staring at a beholder while Bertram is having this weird thing, being like, brr, 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 talking to it, and you're just like, the fuck happened? You're like, I leave you guys for 10 seconds.
Well,
Polymorph?
you left.
No, so it looks at you, it's furious.
Polymorph?
It looks at you like, this motherfucker. And yeah, it rolls a 13.
That is not enough.
Yeah. All right.
Turn it into a worm.
All right, it turns back into a worm. And as you're doing this, the lady of pain sits up and she's like, and it touches it and it just turns into nothing. And she goes, and like gets up and walks out. And the chain kind of reforms. It reforms, like goes from that stretched, distorted, kind of pulling it back. As you get rid of the aberrations and the reality warping from the melding of the far planes to Sigil seems to be taken care of. And you've got a little bit more of an idea. You met Gillian, the god of neutrality and a watcher. And you look at the guy who's standing there agape, and you're like, oh. He's standing there staring at you like, and he was the one that tried to call out to you that's here, don't! Were you mazed?
Yes. Yes, I was.
And huh. I've never seen that before.
Nobody could get my boy Edward down.
He looks at you, and he looks at this guy next to him. He's like, you said if you saw him again, you said it, if you give him again, you give him 100 gold. And he's like, right. Make him. So he tosses a pouch on the ground, and he's like, man, it's the first time this ever happened.
Yuck.
But
I told him you'd make it back, Edward. He said he wouldn't.
Oh yes, so we found a god. You've got a couple new toys. You've got some clear directions and some names.
Was there any candy that popped out when she popped the beholder, or was that just?
You know what? Let me get an investigation check. Since you're finally learning.
It's a 10.
That'll be nice. As it falls to the ground, as it like pops into pieces, this little white ball falls out. Like one of its eyeballs.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And as you look at it, it is a pearl roughly the size of your fist, worth 210 gold pieces.
Hell yeah! We got some
Yes.
shiny stuff.
But it also has a couple magical. It has a little buzz of magic to it. You don't know what it is, but so I think on that note, we're gonna end. I think this was a lot more exciting. I'm glad you got mazed and didn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really glad you got to meet Gilligan. That made me super happy. So that's all right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our game. Tomorrow we will be having a special session of Nerds on Books, where we will be discussing Ashes to Onyx. We missed Monday because Ben was out of town and Ryan's not feeling the best. We'll be joined by Missy. We look forward to you joining us for that. And as always, follow us on all of our socials. Subscribe to our podcast, like and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. And we look forward to seeing you again. Next week is going to be a Talk Nerdy to Me. Keep an eye on our social media to find out what the topic is, or if you want to suggest a topic. We're always looking for input.
And Monday we'll be talking about, we'll be doing a Spider-Man versus Batman sort of bracket of his rogues gallery. So, of their respective rogues galleries, I should say. So,
so we look forward we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. We thank you, and you guys have a good night.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Good night.